Okay, so my mic is working. So I'm going to be restarting We Happy Few here, and I'm going to be playing through Arthur's story. I have a few people who I've talked to about this game, and I sing its praises. It's not everyone's type of game, but it is something that I absolutely love. I don't know why so I'm not sure why my broadcast keeps restarting, but we're going to play some We Happy Few this morning. I need to turn down the volume on my headset.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God.
Okay, so basically what ends up happening here is this game is kind of post-World War II. What if Germany won and took control over Great Britain? And they've been giving everyone these drugs called joy, which make them forget the past. And right now our main character, Arthur, is being triggered by a news article of him and his brother from the past.
Shouldn't I?
So you start the game with the choice to either take your drugs or don't take your drugs to be able to remember what was happening in the past. And as I was just saying, you might not have been able to hear me over the audio, but he is basically just remembering his brother's voice. What triggered that is this newspaper article here. Arthur is a news redactor, so he gets to go through all of the old newspapers and either redact or approve news from the past that gets sent out to everyone in their actual newspapers. So he just came across this article of him and his brother. If you decide to take your joy, it ends the game here. So I've already done that in the past, so I'm not going to show you guys that, but if you do end up playing this game and you decide to do that, take your joy, it's the end of the game, but we're going to remember, so we're going to push that joy off our desk.
Percy! Percy!
I love the storytelling in this game.
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish.
Aha! The power cell's empty.
Well, what will you do?
Okay.
I'll get a new one.
Let's take out that empty power cell. Stand up. Go find a new one. I've played the beginning of this game multiple times. Oop. Place the good power cell. Sit down. And now we have to redact some journals.
What are we going to do, Arthur?
We're brothers. We'll look out for each other. That's what we'll do.
Okay, so there is a trophy for redacting everything that you are supposed to redact at the beginning, and I don't remember which order that is, but I've already got the trophy. So this is something good. It's not something that would spark bad memories, so you
That's a
can
past we can
decide
remember
to
safely.
approve it. If it's something that would like upset people's sensibilities,
I
you're
expect you in
supposed
the
to
conference
redact
room
it.
presently. Don't dawdle.
If it is
Don't
something,
want to miss the pinata.
yes, I know, the pinata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card.
Questioning the clarification of the child registration rule. Okay, so the child registration rule, that's something that people shouldn't remember. It would make them upset,
That's
so we're going
right.
to censor that. Because you don't want the people to remember it. You can go the other way and just let through all of the bad news. But I like to go for the trophy when I'm doing this. Okay, first round of trials of a new anti-melancholic medication. Drug can be used to test on human volunteers. This is about the joy. I don't remember the answer. So we're gonna say yeah. Let's go with that. Okay. So I like to take that power cell with me because power cells can sometimes be hard to come by. One thing with this game is the maps are all randomly generated, so you can actually run into a glitch where a certain NPC that you need doesn't end up spawning. In that case, you end up having to kind of do a back route way to get a quest item, and it's really frustrating, but it's not impossible. You just have to luck
Do you
out
think
and
the
find
canister
someone else
wonders what life's like outside the tube?
who is
Of
selling
course, he'd have to break the tube to
what
get
is
out.
needed.
Well,
Okay, we're gonna
break it
pick
for
up the
everybody.
business letter. I should have clicked read on that. Oops, wrong one. Wrong button. Nothing good in the garbage can. So just like games like Fallout and stuff like that, there are tons of places where items are hiding. So there's also a trophy for doing other people's work.
Thinks of you right now, Clive.
And you can get a trophy for sabotaging this guy's work. And for this one, for this trophy, you want to make sure that only bad news goes through so that he doesn't do good at his job. So volunteer farm workers expected to return home. We're going to censor that.
Not sure about that one.
So it is a little bit slow of a start, but it gives us some really good storytelling if you actually take the time to read these.
Right.
We're gonna approve that. Oops, wrong button. I guess we're not gonna approve that. Like I said before, I've already got the trophies for the beginning of this game, so I'm just kind of pressing whatever button I want. And sometimes pressing the wrong ones. Wellington Wells will restore a limited service following stations.
That's a rather inconvenient bit of history.
Approve that one. Alright, and we're done his work. We're gonna take the power cell, stand up, and continue on. We don't want the joy. Can't look in his desk.
That little shit. He wants my view.
Whose door is this? Prudence.
Whatever happened to you, Prudence?
So this is what reality looks like without the drug. Everything's a little bit darker. Nancy, her office is disheveled and falling apart. But this is the scene that they want you to see.
You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did you go?
I like how she wanted to go on a vacation to Canada. And up the St. Lawrence. Kind of makes me chuckle every time I do this. So she hasn't been here. We're not going to use her redacting machine, especially since the power source is dead. I don't have a lockpick at this point in the game. So we gotta wait until we come back to the parade. Let's check in on Hopkins.
I didn't take them. No, leave me alone. I took my joy.
Okay, so doctors, the guy with the syringe, they can tell if you haven't had your joy, and they will walk up and they will stab you and give you the medication. So, poor Hopkins, who knows what's going to happen to him. Don't need to sit in the chairs. I'm just looking for any extra notes, because I have a tendency to forget.
We seem to be a bit behind in our work now that you mention it.
Whew. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay, can't do those until we come back to the parade. Can't do that until we come back to the parade. I take that power cell. Desk is empty. So that's Uncle Jack. He is the person we're supposed to listen to. His propaganda is all over this world.
And remember, no matter what, make sure you're taking enough joy. There's no excuse anymore for feeling bad. You don't have to. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time when we'll talk about malaria. It's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Most people survive it. This is Dr. Jack Worthing saying my prescription for you is well.
We're almost at the party. That door is jammed. You ready to go and hit this piñata? There's a piñata at the party, don't forget.
There you are. You nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until... Come on, hit it! Hit it! Hit it!
Go on, give it a big old whack!
Really smack it!
You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Alright, now we have to escape the office.
Probably a bad time to ask for that raise.
The Bobby is...
We've got a downer here, haven't we? Put that down! I'll fix you!
You smell gas?
Flaming Nora.
Forget him, there's no time.
I love the load screens. Yes, there are a lot a lot of load screens in this game. It's an indie game, but I love the load screens because they give you a lot of helpful tips, and they give you a lot of lore for the story as well. So you get a lot of information as to what is happening, maybe some hints for non-violent solutions. You get some of the beliefs of society through these load screens. It really is quite wonderful. And like I said before, all the maps on this game are randomly generated. So every time you play, things are a little bit different. So it's not like you can memorize where something is in a world, because even the missions spawn in different places because of how the maps are generated. And yes, it can be frustrating, but it also makes it really fun to replay through this game. Even if you replay as the same character, which quite honestly I haven't gotten too far. I've only made it through the second character because I keep restarting, because I'll put the game down and then I'll decide, you know what, I'm going to restart. I love Arthur's story so much. But each character as you go through the game has its own challenges, and that makes the game really interesting. Come on, load screen. If you get enough sleep, try and get enough sleep. If you're tired, you won't have as much maximum stamina. So if you're used to playing Fallout, on hardcore mode, you'll know that, you know, eating and drinking and sleeping are really important to keeping yourself alive. In this game, it's the same thing. You need to make sure you're eating, you need to make sure you're drinking, and you need to make sure that you're sleeping enough. Otherwise, your stamina, your health, and other things are impacted while you play. It's very important to make sure that you always keep good food, clean water, and know where your beds are when you are playing. So here we're waking up after being knocked out by the Bobbies. We're pretty much outcasts.
Christ, how far did those bastards chase me? There were bridges, weren't there? And tunnels. I'm pretty sure I'm not in the parade anymore. I don't even think I'm still in the village.
Those Bobbies seem to have locked me in. I suppose they were worried about the gas. Terribly thoughtful of them.
Coins. So things can be a little dark in this game until you get a flashlight. Flashlights also run on power cells, so you need to make sure that you constantly have some good power cells in your inventory. If you drink from regular sinks, sinks are often contaminated by Joy.
Prudence really did run off, and she ran this way. I wonder if I'll see her again.
So it's not good to drink from taps. There are water sources in the world that are not contaminated with Joy, and as some of those uncontaminated sources. I always make sure to look in toilets because toilets have bleach, and bleach is one of the main ingredients in the fake drug that I like to take to get through this game and make it a little bit more fun and interesting, but without as much conflict. Okay. So you'll notice that I am kind of a pack rat in this game. I will go through and grab everything, but there's a reason for that, and it's because you can put your inventory into the storage lockers later on, and then they can be accessed from any of the safety points. I don't want to listen to Uncle Jack. Sorry, I just don't. Rupert Underhill's memo. Pick up his memo, and then once we get to an unlock point for our first hatch, then I will go in and we will read the notes to get some of the story here. Searching the shadows for all the money I can. Empty desk, but there's some bobby pins on the desk. Nope, let's go.
I'll need some odds and bobs.
Alright, so I need to make a lockpick. So here's our screen for our character information, so we can see our vitals. We haven't taken any joy. We don't have any memory loss because we didn't overdose on joy. Our health is at 70%. That's from us being attacked by the bobbies. We're about half hunger, about 2/3 thirst, and we're really not tired yet. So we're still pretty good. We can go through the different sections. Here we have our skill tree. So Arthur, as you complete things, you can obtain different skills. So you can become more violent, you can become less violent, you can do multi-attacks, you can become more stealthy, and he also has Arthur-specific super duper skills that help you get through the game easily. So Arthur as a character, he's the odd man out, so his dialogue is going to all be defensive and sarcastic when he's talking to people. He's English and repressed, so he does some funky things with that too. He's swift, so he has a very quick sprint compared to some of the other characters. So as you progress through, your characters will have different run speeds, different stamina, and things like that. So Arthur is the fastest character, and he's also unremarkable. So when Arthur sits down on a bench, he is able to sit and no one will notice him. So this can be really handy during certain times of day, or if you're being chased, run around the corner, sit on a bench and take out a newspaper, and your enemies will think you've disappeared. This is our inventory page. We can see that we're wearing a proper suit and nice shoes right now because we just came from the parade. And as you get more items, they are organized into different sections. So we have health, food and drink, gadgets, drugs, weapons, outfits, crafting components, and quest items. And these are really helpful later on once you end up with a ton of inventory. Next is our crafting page, which is where we need to go. We need to make some bobby pins to be able to, or some lockpicks to be able to open doors and containers. So it's as easy as going in and holding the button to create, and it takes 2 bobby pins to make 1 lockpick. I'm not going to make any dirty bandages, but as you can see, we also have 5 sections here for what we can make. Survival, outfits, tools, and then weapons, and the last one will be drugs. As we go through the world, we're going to find some recipes to be able to build more things. Here's our map. So just like most open world games, your map starts off clouded, and as you progress, you find more of the map and you clear up more of the map, finding more locations. Next, we have our objectives. So right now we only have our main story quest. We just have to try and get out of the sewers where we are now. And each of these quests will come with like a little bit of inner dialogue from your character, which is really fun as well. It's a way to get a little bit deeper into the story. So here we are in the Wellington Under. So our goals are to find a way out and to make a lockpick and open the door. So we made a lockpick, we just need to open the door, and then we need to find a way out. So what Arthur's thoughts are on this is, where the hell am I? Somewhere under the Garden District, I think. I suppose I won't know until I get topside. I need to find some way up and out. I'm going to need to make a lockpick for this door. Good thing the salamander and I spent an entire summer breaking into houses in the Garden District. Possibly the best summer I ever had. So this is important a little bit later on too, because it's helpful to remember his skills when we get a little bit deeper into the Garden District. When we go to our last page here, this is where all of the memos that you pick up will be. So if anyone's written a letter, if you find memos or notes in the world, you can come in here, read them, and you'll get hints for progressing in the story. You'll find out a little bit more of the lore and how different characters are related to each other. And different characters, as you play through, find different notes and give you different information. So sometimes you'll be playing as Arthur, and then you'll move on to Sally, and you'll find a note as Sally that will make you think back to Arthur and some of the reasons that maybe he said or did some of the things that he does. Sorry if my drink's a little loud there. So here we have Rupert Underhill's memo. So, to Mr. James Waltz, Chief Engineer, from Rupert Underhill at Station 4. He's not off his joy. He's lost the plot completely, and he's hoarding all the carrots. He growls at me when I try to eat mine. I'm going to try and talk some sense into him. Then I'm coming back to the village. Duty be damned. So, we know now that there is someone that is hoarding carrots and has gone a little bit crazy. So maybe he has one of the diseases that you can catch in this world. Maybe he is a downer. We aren't 100% sure at this point. Next we have Tie a String. So this is to Mr. Underhill from Jim Watt. So we're going the other direction. So dear Rupert, are you quite certain Teddy's off his joy? Perhaps he merely forgot. You've got to look after your mates, man. Have you tried a string around his finger? That always helps me. Anyway, I can't reassign Teddy because I haven't got a replacement. All the juniors are off at Scargill. The substance has been severing all sorts of connections, and the motoline must flow. I really appreciate you sticking by your post. If we don't do our duty, who are we? But try the string around the finger. I feel certain you'll manage the situation. All my best, Jimmy. So if we look at the top, this letter was sent 2 days before the one I read first. Next, we have Prudence. So this is the note that we just found in the bathroom that Prudence had written when she left. So was it a mistake? It seems so clever to disappear first, rather than trying to brazen my way across the bridge. After enough joy, they'd forget they'd ever known of Prudence Holmes. Beastly Clive would take my office, and they'd forget anyone else was ever in it. But now that I'm here, I wonder, should I have put my trust in Mr. Kite? And where are his bloody instructions? In the abandoned house. Yes, but which abandoned house? They're all abandoned. And now to deal with all these wastrels? My God, they look like something out of Dante. We'd chase someone out whenever they wouldn't take their joy, but I never really thought about where they went. I knew we chased them out when joy made them sick, but I didn't know it was here, to starve and weep and remember. I assumed they were sent to a sanatorium, a decent hospital, but I suppose that's what I wanted to believe. We are all complicit. We know without knowing and don't want to remember, so we don't. My God, I can't wait until I get to the mainland. So Prudence has left, and this gives us an idea of Mr. Kite. So Mr. Kite is a set of, it's kind of a trail of clues that you have to follow. And you end up finding Mr. Kite's abandoned house, finding out what you are supposed to be doing a little later on. You'll see me go through that in a bit. There's thoughts as he was. So he's reflecting on some of his choices that he not only rather spectacularly quit, unleash the hounds, or they would if we hadn't eaten them 20 years ago. The Wastrels don't seem terribly friendly. I hope they aren't really cannibals. Oh god, I'm one of them now, aren't I? I've got to get over the bridge and off the island, which means I've got to get back to the parade district, don't I? Which I was just chased out of. Brilliant. Question. What in dog's name were you thinking? Answer. Percy. I saw his picture just before we put them all on the train. God, all the horrible grinding steel, all the screams, how he must hate me. Why did I tell the Jerrys I was already 13? They were only off by 10 days. Why didn't I keep my mouth shut and get on the train and go off to Germany with him like I promised him? I can't remember, but I promised him. That's got to mean something. I've got to go find Percy, wherever he is, and make sure he's okay. P.S. How long have we been eating rats? Remember his life before all of the children were sent off to Germany. You're going to explore the reasons as to why he lied and told them he was already 13 instead of just letting them believe he was 12 based on the mistake in his passport. And you're really trying to get off the island to find... Miss Spring wrote Clive a letter. So, dear Mr. Birtwistle, it is so thoughtful to you how to suggest we best rearrange the department. I'm always grateful for the suggestion from junior staff on how to best do my job as director. However, I'm afraid it would be destabilizing to swap your office with that of Mr. Hastings. Unfortunately, turnover in this department is high. If Prue doesn't return soon, I don't see why you shouldn't have her office. In the meantime, I suggest you pop another Joy, and you'll feel the sunshine on your face whether you have a window or not. All the best, Victoria Bing, Director. And then at the end we see Arthur's opinions on that. So, handwritten letter. Here's a positive letter. I'm almost positive Clive is Clive's terrible handwriting. Dear Director Bing, one of your employees is subversive, may even be a downer. I overheard him in the commissary telling a friend that he thinks his job redacting old articles is silly. And what's scary about the truth, he's very tall and slim, black hair, brown eyes, and glasses. I know I should have asked his name, but I'm a naturally shy woman, and it leaves it there. A shy woman. Are you Clive, or just a nasty, manipulative schemer? And then the very last note that you'll always have is your statistics. So it tells you how many kills, how many takedowns, the number of attack actions. So we're going to try and go through, and I want to do a non-lethal run. So we're going to try and keep that kill count to 0.
There we go. 3 years of the salamander and me getting into constant trouble finally pay off.
Alright, so let's get more into playing now that I've showed you the different things.
What happened to him?
Go through. We've got a dead guy. Search his body. He's got nothing good, but we will take the electroshocker. Alright, there's our first memory, which gives us a cutscene.
Are they going to hurt us?
No one's going to hurt you, Percy. I promise.
But have they hurt the city?
I don't think they'll blow anything else up.
Why?
Because we surrendered, I hope.
Well, what are we going to do, Arthur?
We're brothers. We'll look out for each other.
Okay, so we hear that Arthur had said that he was going to take care of his brother. There's our first memory. Grab all these bobby pins. Okay, so this is the stash. We can go in and we can look at all of our inventory. And we can deposit all of our crafting supplies in there. I don't like dirty bandages, so I always drop them in as well. And I'm going to keep the glass bottle for now. Diary of Theodore Miner. We will read that in a little bit. Okay. Check the rest of these. Empty syringe can be handy. See, so this is Rupert Underhill. We've already read some of his notes as we were going through. So he was looking to, he was looking for Prudence, I do believe. So we don't have the key cord, so we have to hack it with this electrostatic thing. Wreck the lock, and now we can... Okay.
Cheer up, you bastard!
Oh no, you pushed me.
That's
Knocked
the
you
first
out.
fight I've won since primary school. Actually, I think it's the first fight I've been in since primary school.
So rotten fruit may not seem like it's a good thing to pick up, but it's actually a common ingredient later on. So make sure you pick up the rotten food, just make sure you don't eat it. Turn on the power. So sometimes you'll see symbols like this happy face. So we saw the happy face when we picked up that journal saying that the guy was hoarding carrot. So what we're going to do after I pick this filing cabinet open is we're going to follow the happy faces. And you'll often see symbols like this that lead to fun little secrets. So we've got some rotten carrots in here. A whole chest of stuff for us to pick up. Another rotten carrot. So Rupert was talking about how the other guy had gone crazy and was hoarding the carrots. So here's this kind of little hidey place. We're gonna jump back up. Okay, just checking for first aid kits up on the pipe here. I'm gonna keep going. A good carrot, so there's some good food. We don't have anything else in this section of pipe. So let's go, air ventilation. Make sure we've checked all the filing cabinets. Okay, now we can activate the hatch.
Too bad I
we
don't
can
have
come
any other
back
hatches
here.
to go to just yet.
So these hatches end up being safe places for you to sleep, to drink, to store your materials. Once again, gonna store that. Oops, I was in the stash. Okay, so we're gonna put all of our crafting materials in there. Move all the apples and carrots and dirty bandages, but we're going to keep the good carrot for us to eat later. Let's check our stats. We're still not very tired, but we're a little hungry. So we'll go eat that carrot. And then we're going to go up to the surface. So we can't fast travel, so we can't use the door yet because we haven't unlocked any other hatches. But we'll take the ladder up to the safe house.
Bridge. I've got to get to the bridge. In the parade district, which I just got chased out of. Brilliant. Ah, the train station. If I can get to the train station, I can just follow the old rail tunnel all the way to the bridge. Be nice if there was a map, wouldn't it? I suppose back in those days we could remember where things were.
So I see that my stream is a little grainy, but that might have to do with my streaming from the PS4. So Escape Wellington Wells, which is kind of hilarious advertisement because now we are truly trying to escape and not just going on a
Mother
vacation.
would be so proud.
So I'm gonna search these dead bodies and then we're gonna go what was that pick up? Yeah, I'm going to pick up some rocks. I'm going to try and not be lethal right now, but having rocks in my inventory can be handy as well. So you'll notice that there's lots of rubble piles around the city. If there's a rubble pile that looks like it has kind of like a broken filing cabinet and like some metal parts in it, those ones you can often access for inventory, and you can find some pretty good things in them sometimes. So it's really important in this game to kind of thoroughly explore the city.
Berries? They grow all over the Garden District, don't they?
Always pick up rowan berries
run across a pub.
and seeds of Gilead, or petals of Gilead. So the red plants and the orange plants, blue plants are just berries that are helpful to eat, but red and orange are really what you're going to be looking to pick up. Oh yeah, I have a tendency to get lost in this town, by the way, so if I'm just walking in circles, it's probably...
I am coming for you, Percy. I haven't got it all figured out, but I will find you.
I'm going to go in behind. Okay, this map. Okay, I have never... I hate the randomly generated maps sometimes. So even though the maps are randomly generated, there are specific things that will always spawn in the area. So when you first leave the hatch, you will always find the tea party.
A Rose of Gilead. Percy told me about these. They're good for wounds and things. Miss Byng always said I had a great future ahead of me. Probably said that to half the school when no one was listening.
Yeah,
I hope this doesn't give me food poisoning.
You will always find a tea party with information on the tea party. Okay, so the tea party, Manny's tea party, do come in your finery and remember your manners. There's nothing really exciting about the tea party, but it does give you some really good materials to start. I'm gonna pick up the rotting meat. I don't need the other teacup. So these are night blooming nonsuch. They only bloom at night. So great name for them. And I'm just gonna do some map exploration before I do anything else and make sure I gather some of these petals. So the Rose of Gilead, as Arthur just kind of stated as his memory, they are used to craft your healing bombs. We go in here, make sure you're under the health section, and once again 2 petals for 1 healing bomb, just like our lockpicks are 2 bobby pins. Unlock the trunk. So unlocking trunks when you get into an area is a great idea. So you want to unlock them because then you can jump in and you can hide if people are chasing you. So make sure you have them unlocked in those, or for those situations. Oh, we have found one of the things I was looking for. So we have a dead man hanging from a tree. I'm gonna steal his chest and search his body. So poor William Hawks killed himself because he could not deal with the wastrels. That's the other thing I was looking for. Looks like we're gonna have to go around. Nope, we were able to climb. Perfect. Okay, so finding this tower is nice. It teaches you about digging spots, which give you nice rewards if you find them. So you'll find dig spot maps around the map as you continue through the world. Dig spot, rotten apple, some darts. And nothing else up here, but we got that dig spot. So when you pick up a dig spot, you won't see it in your letters. What'll happen is you'll end up getting a dig spot point on your map, and then you can mark it as a custom waypoint to follow to go find whatever treasures are hidden. So we mark that waypoint, it'll show up as that little diamond, and we can go to it. Once you get there, as long as you have a shovel in your inventory, you're able to dig and find those items. So you can't just hold for this one, you have to press square multiple times.
Aha, but I remember how to make a lockpick.
Yeah, now we've got to make another lockpick because lockpicks only have 2 uses before they break. I went the wrong direction. Tools, let's make some lockpicks. 3 of those. And I'm also going to make a Jimmy bar. That way we can use it later. Just like other games like Fallout, make sure no one's watching you when you lockpick or they get very angry. And Kit Flimsy Cricket Bat. Oh, it's so nice to find a pocket expansion so early in the game. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, we're gonna drop that shovel. We're gonna apply the pocket upgrade right away. And we'll continue on. So, broken down abandoned houses. Watch for things that kind of go up, because sometimes you'll be able to jump, get up onto these upper ledges, and there's chests and awesome stuff up there as well. You'll also see as we go through that people have done drawings of children, of them missing children. They'll cross their faces out because they're trying to forget the faces of their children. There's a lot of really great details in this game.
Oh.
Ooh, always check
This might be the one
mailboxes.
Sally and me tried to blow up. I always wondered what happened to the letters. There was an awful lot of smoke.
So we're learning that this is where Arthur and the next character, Sally, grew up. We get to see a lot of details and his memories come out as we are exploring. So there's nothing up here, but I like to get a vantage point sometimes. I can go and remove that custom waypoint now. Okay, just gonna finish exploring town before we move out to go through the wastelands and the garden district. No, can't jump high enough to get up there. Oh, stuck. Stuck. There we go. So this is what I mean, like sometimes if there's raised platforms, you can climb up. Nothing in that trunk. Gonna force open the coin box, get some money. So as you're playing through, if you hear a telephone ringing, find the phone booth and answer it. Nothing makes sense to begin with, but trust me, you're gonna want to make sure that you've been answering those phone calls. Okay, so we're back at that house. Nothing in there. Okay. So I think we've found everything there is to find in the town. I'm gonna grab that glass bottle though, they're good for distractions. Do a little bit of sprint. Okay, we already picked up things from the tea party. Got a lot of wrecked houses here. More rowan berries. As we play through, you guys are gonna see why I like to collect the rowan berries. Hi, we got the creepy music, which means this is a house that we want to explore for some lore. Some good storytelling in here. I'm sneaking because I don't know if there's anyone currently in this house. And because everything is randomly generated, you never know what's going to happen. There's the kettle. Being a pack rat as always. Need a rotten carrot and a syringe. I'm pretty sure this house normally generates with no one.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. When was the last time there was a baby in Wellington, Wales? Like they couldn't remember their faces. Or they couldn't stand remembering them.
Sorry, that was because I accidentally hit the share button.
What's on those beds? Oh, God. I'm not the only one remembering the children, am I? Makes sense. They're all off their joy out here. What's on those beds? Oh, God.
I thought that was a different thing. I'm turning off the creepy music.
The children, am I? Makes sense. They're all off their joy out here.
Yeah, so you'll find things where people have put like mannequins into beds and given them toys to remember the children, and yeah, it's really creepy sometimes. Shredded raincoat and a note from the nanny. Alright, let's look at what Nanny said, because Nanny threw the tea party too. I'm sorry to report that the girl Spoon won't eat her porridge, so I sent her to bed without supper. Yeah, so Nanny has gone a little bit loopy out here. And you can see that she has sent the babes to bed. Anyway, we got another tea party.
A toy tea set. Funny, Percy never played with toys. He didn't like anything that wasn't really the thing it was supposed to be.
So yeah, this is, oh, see, there's another chest. So you do have to pay attention to how things line up and where there's spaces. You can run and jump.
Better find something to drink soon.
Oh, and I'm getting thirsty, so I need to find a canteen to fill up, or the water. So there's a canteen at the water, but sometimes you luck out and you find some early that you can fill up when you get to the water pumps. You do take fall damage in this game, so definitely make sure you're paying attention.
Getting a bit thirsty. I better find something to drink.
Yes, Arthur, I know you're thirsty.
You need one. There's a pump on Barrow Home, isn't there?
Okay, so when you consume food, your maximum stamina increases. When you're too hungry, your maximum stamina decreases. When you drink, the cost of sprinting is reduced, and when you're too thirsty, sprinting costs more stamina. So ignoring it won't likely kill you, but you need to remember to eat or drink for those benefits. So it's not an immediate you're gonna die of starvation, but the hungrier you get, the less stamina you have, and it causes some really unfortunate situations. Okay, here is our water well. Hopefully he has, there we go, that dead body had a canteen. Normally when you're finding a water pump, the water pumps are guarded by bobbies, so you either have to distract them, take them out, or kill them. So we're gonna drink, and then we're gonna fill up that canteen
They ought to be
that we
pretty clean,
found.
unlike in the village where they spike it with joy.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying before, is when you find sinks and things like that, don't drink from them because they are spiked with joy. That way, even if people aren't taking their joy, they're still forced to consume joy. I think I'm gonna stop this stream in a little bit. See if I can change this up to 1080p and then have it split into a couple of videos. So I'm just going to find a place to save here. So I'm going to show you something too. So we're going to save right here in a manual save. And then I'm going to quit. And then when I come back for a second part of the stream, you'll see what happens when we save.